South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex here on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital, and the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show, as well as all of you listening to us here in Las Vegas on our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM, and of course all of our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global. iPhone, Android, Google phone covered with your apps. You can get the YouTube app as well as the KSHP app. You can hear and see us through those apps on your devices, and of course anywhere you get your podcasting as well. We welcome you to the show. Well, it is one of the two big weekends coming up in the some summertime racing at both the Spa and in Southern California, at the beach at Del Mar. Now, Del Mar, the Pacific Classic, will be on the 30th of the month, which is right at the end of the month. But coming up this Saturday is the big day, the big Travers Day at Saratoga. And so we've got a huge amount of great stakes races on Saturday at Saratoga. Now, let's keep our, let me clear my throat because the weather is going to get to me now. You ready? Saratoga right now today, it's pouring rain. Rain, Saratoga. They're off the turf. The steeplechase race that was the first on the card has been canceled. Now, you know, we got the Travers coming up on Saturday, along with six total big stakes races on Saturday at Saratoga that include 3 Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in races, although the Travers is not one of them. But you get the gist of how important and how many big races are happening on Saturday at Saratoga. Now, fingers crossed, they say that today is going to be the last bad day of weather like this at Saratoga for the rest of the week. If that is indeed the case, if Mother Nature is a racing fan and we get a perfect racing on Saturday at Saratoga, it's going to be one heck of a day of racing. Now, the Travers Stakes, of course, the big race, not only at Saratoga for the meet, but of course, the big race of all those stakes races on Saturday at Saratoga, has a bulky field of 5. Just 5 horses were entered in the Travers Stakes, which means you got Sovereignty and 4 other horsemen and horses that are going to try to take on this champion. We're going to get to that race along with Jonathan Hardoon in just a minute. But this will be the smallest field in the Travers Stakes since 1994. And because Sovereignty has just scared them all off. They're going other places, Pennsylvania Derby, Pacific Classic, bada bing, bada bung. But it's going to be, can Sovereignty get beat as the overwhelming prohibitive favorite in the Travers at a racetrack that has the moniker of Graveyard of Champions and Graveyard of Favorites? We will wait and see. And of course, we'll have a lot of opinions on that from our handicappers as well. Saturday, Saratoga's 6 stakes races add up to a total of $3,650,000 worth of purses. But the total starters combined in all of the 6 stakes races is a total of just 46. So there's going to be some short fields, but competitive fields, that's for sure. And the top horses in their division right now on the East Coast that are running will be presented and be competing on Saturday at Saratoga. Not only is Sovereignty, of course, the top 3-year-old in the Travers, but you have Torpedo Anna, will be one of 7 entered in the personal engine. You've got the Ballerina. There's 9 in that race. The top horse in there is Scylla. You got the 4-Go. The 4-Go has got the largest field. 11 will go in the 7-furlong 4-Go, and Bookham Dano is the favorite in that one. The H. Allen Jerkins Memorial has 8 in that, with Patch Adams, the favorite from the rail. And, of course, you've got, of course, the Travers Stakes with Sovereignty as the favorite in the 5-horse field there. So we're setting it up for a great, great Saturday of racing out at Saratoga. Mother Nature, please be a racing fan on Saturday, because she certainly is not today. Bad races going on as far as the weather at Saratoga today. Also, you got that big hurricane that's making its way along the eastern seaboard. The hurricane will not come on the land, but it's so big that the outer parts of the hurricane is creating a lot of storms, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of wind all along the East Coast shoreline, all along the East Coast. As a result of that, racing at Delaware Park in Horseshoe, Indianapolis, they were taking them off the turf there. At both those racetracks, there will be no turf racing there, as well as no turf racing at Saratoga. So keep that in mind, all right? But it's going to be a big, big day, big day of racing. By the way, the Lake Placid Stakes will also be a stakes race on the card at Saratoga on Saturday. I forgot to tell you about that. There are 6 in that race, with Play with Fire as the favorite in that race. That's the only Grade 2. The other 5 races will be Grade 1s at Saratoga on Saturday. All right? We start off by highlighting a lot of great racing on Friday. Coming up on Friday at Charlestown. Charlestown will host the $1 million Charlestown Classic, plus 2 other Grade 2 races as well. So there'll be 3 stakes races at Charlestown. The $750,000 Charlestown Oaks will also be on the card on Friday. And Skippy Longstockings, who has won the Charlestown Classic for 2 times already. He's going for the 3rd in a row. He's won the Charlestown Classic 2 years in a row, 24, 23, and now he's going to try it in 25. Skippy Longstocking, big favorite in the Charlestown Classic. $1 million race there on Friday. So we got a lot of great stakes races going on starting on Friday into Saturday. And, of course, Del Mar will host a Grade 2 Breeders' Cup. Del Mar will have 1 big stakes race, a Grade 2 Breeders' Cup win in there. And we'll have a lot of stakes races around the country as well. But the big stakes races, of course, is at Saratoga. Can't wait for that. And I have taken a look at that race in the 5-horse field. And by the time we get to Saratoga, I'm going to punch 1 straight trifecta in the race. Okay? There's no superfecta, but there is a trifecta in that 5-horse field. And I'm gonna give you my punch in the Saratoga and the Travers Stakes. I'm just punch 1 cold trifecta in that race. We'll wait and get that a little bit later. All right. Some of the other things that are happening. First of all, before anything here in Las Vegas, got to tell you, folks, here in Las Vegas, we are very proud of Summerlin South. Summerlin South School is in the Little League World Series, and they won their 3rd round in the Little League World Series. So Summerlin South, we're in it. And Summerlin, of course, a suburb of Las Vegas. So congratulations to our Little League team there. Okay, our Little League team is going. They're still in, and they're going for the Little League World Series. They've won their 3rd playoff game already, and they move on. Okay, Pat Valenzuela. Understand that Pat Valenzuela, as you know, is waiting to get renewed in his racing license. He wants it restored so he can get back to racing. But Pat Valenzuela is exercising horses out at Del Mar right now, and he was injured. He fell off a horse. He was injured in a workout on, I believe it was Sunday, at Del Mar. It was a Peter Urton trained horse called Fire Mountain, And his agent did relay to Peter Urton, however. He was taken away in the ambulance on a stretcher, but his agent said he's just body sore. So we'll wait and see about P-Val. And he's got to be in his 60s now. I mean, my goodness. All right. Ellis Park will end its racing meeting on Sunday, which means there'll be mandatory payoffs on Sunday at Ellis Park. And over the weekend, out of all the stakes races going on, there were only 2 horses that surpassed the 100 Beyer speed figure over the weekend. One of them was Simcoe, who won the Bold Venture, got 103 Beyer speed figure, and She Feels Pretty, who won the E.P. Taylor out at Woodbine. She Feels Pretty got a 104 Beyer. Out of all the weekend stakes races, those are the only 2 horses that broke the 100 or more Beyer speed figure over the weekend. And all I can tell you, folks, is there is an abundance of talented 2-year-olds that have already made their way into the races and won races between Saratoga and Del Mar. I got to tell you, I'm excited about all of these 2-year-olds that are running great races there in both Saratoga and at Del Mar. And there's going to be these 2-year-olds, if they keep all the parts in the right place and keep advancing, it's going to be one hell of a sophomore group next year. But just taking a look at some of the 2-year-olds that won over the weekend, just this past week, if I can punch it up here. We all know about It's Our Time. This is the 2-year-old that ran off the screen and won by like 18 lengths. It's Our Time for Tom Amos. You also had a horse called Belgian for George Weaver that won big. Chicane won big for Safi Joseph Jr. Arctic Beast, Mike Maker, the trainer there. And, of course, Bob Baffert on the West Coast. You had Explorer win over the weekend for Bob Baffert. And also Litmus Test. This is an offspring of Nyquist for Bob Baffert. That was a big win for a 2-year-old. So there's been a lot of 2-year-olds that have run over the past week winning races. You also had Tap the Parlay and Grace is Free, a couple other 2-year-old fillies that won impressively over the weekend. So I'm really excited about the 2-year-old class. I'm going to ask maybe Jonathan and John Lindo if they see it the same way. And we'll find out from those guys if they have. I got to tell you, It's Our Time is still one of the greatest performances I've seen by a 2-year-old on a racetrack ever. That's for sure. All right, on today's show, we have Jonathan Hardoon standing by, Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry J. And it's Wednesday, which means we got Dwayne Colucci coming aboard, too, from the Rampart. And, of course, we'll have your racing menu coming up next. So without any further ado, we'll get you the first break. Reminding you that when you go to the YouTube section on our page of the YouTube page, you can get involved in the chat box. And they are chatting away on the chat box each and every day. Guys get together and women get together and have a good time on the chat box. It is free of charge, but you have to subscribe, and subscription is free. If you haven't already, do that on the YouTube page and get started chatting away on this great sport of kings. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Let's see. The temperature out here right now is 87 degrees. But we're going to get up to 110 today. Now, we are under an excessive heat warning for the rest of the week through Saturday here in Las Vegas. So stay hydrated if you're here in Vegas or coming to Vegas. Remember to stay hydrated. Kids and pets outside at a limited time. Don't keep them out too long because it's going to be real hot. Check on all of the folks out there, especially the elderly that have a hard time with the heat, okay? But stay hydrated. Keep that water coming. If you feel dehydrated, it'll be too late, all right? So do that. It'll be 110 today. Got the high spot of the country, of course, is Phoenix, Arizona. That's 112 there. We got Miami's 93 degrees. Jacksonville, 92. That's along that whole eastern shoreline that's got all of that rain, et cetera, coming in from that hurricane out on the Atlantic. New York City, 72 with rain, and, of course, up in Saratoga, it's raining. And Chicago, 76. Los Angeles, 91 degrees in L.A. No racing at Del Mar today, however. And, of course, as I say, the hot spot in the nation, 112 in Phoenix, Arizona. As far as precipitation, all up and down the East Coast, as I say. And, of course, a lot of action going on over the state of New York and Maine, et cetera, there. Otherwise, it looks pretty clear for the rest of the country. So we get to your racing menu right now. Without any further ado, let's go to the racing menu. We begin the racing menu today with Colonial Downs. 8 races today at Colonial Downs. First post time is at 9:30 at Colonial Downs today. Then next up on the calendar, if I can get it there. Here we go. Your menu. The Delaware Park is next. First post time is 9:30 at Delaware Park. I want to remind you that no turf racing today at Delaware, so I guess you can take the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th races off the turf today at Delaware Park. After that, with these pages sticking here. Okay, after that, Belterra is next. Belterra Park has a first post time of 9:35 for their 8 races. Then we go to Parks Racing. Parks Racing has 10 races today at Parks. And their Pick 5 jackpot carryover, $26,673. First post time at Parks for their 10 race card is at 9:40. Saratoga. Saratoga had 9 races. The first race was a handicap steeplechase race. That has been canceled. It will be rescheduled. So the races will begin in the second race today that will start the early Pick 5 and early Pick 4 at Saratoga. And of the 9 races left at Saratoga, races 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9 will come off the turf today. No turf racing at Saratoga, so you can expect scratches, as you know, in those races. First post time at Saratoga is at 10:10 at Saratoga today. Finger Lakes is next. Finger Lakes has a first post time for 8 races set at 10:15 at Finger Lakes. Horseshoe Indianapolis, off the turf there, Horseshoe Indianapolis. 9 races. The feature race today is the Pachero Handicap at 1 mile and 16th and the 8th race was scheduled for the turf, but Horseshoe Indianapolis, as you know, is off the turf as well. So that means their 5th, 7th, and 8th race, the featured Pachero Handicap, comes off the turf today. 9th race will be a maiden quarter horse race there, so you got 8 thoroughbreds, 1 quarter horse race for the 9 races at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and a first post time of 11:10. Presque Isle Downs is next. Presque Isle Downs has a first post time for their 8 race card at 12:30. Louisiana Downs has just 7 races. And Louisiana Downs, first post time at Louisiana Downs is set at 2:05. And then you got Penn National. Penn National has a first post time of 2:45 for their 7 races there. And Canterbury Park wraps it up with their first post time at 3:10 for their 7 races at Canterbury Park. That's the menu for today. Let's go out to Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, my man, and I know the weather here is a lot better right now, I guess, than it is where you're at, but nevertheless, we're hoping that the weather is just going to be fine on Saturday at Saratoga. Do you expect that to happen?
Well, that's what they're calling for. They say after the rain is done today, it's supposed to clear out. Maybe tomorrow, a chance of a pop-up shower, but Friday and Saturday are both supposed to be beautiful days.
All right. Well, a lot happened on Sunday at Saratoga. You had Irad winning the first race for Phil Antonacci. Manny Franco came in with a horse for Chad Brown. Kendrick Carmouche checked in for Kenny McPeak. Irad Ortiz Jr. had his second win and Todd Pletcher's first win in the 6th race on a 2-year-old maiden. Teleport paying $5 even. Of course, Linda Rice got a win on the day for Jose Ortiz at $5 even. And then the Bolton Landing Stakes was won by Snowface Princess Flavian Pratt aboard for Todd Pletcher's second win, paying $15.40 in the stakes race there. Chad Brown also checked in with a couple of wins on Sunday at Saratoga. I'm sorry, he did not. He had Flavian Pratt was the one that had his second win aboard a Chad Brown trainee in the last race at $3.50. Really, a lot of favorites dotted the card on Sunday at Saratoga. And as far as Del Mar was concerned, Phil D'Amato got to going with Umberto Rispoli in the first race. Bob Baffert unleashed Explora, one of his 2-year-olds, at 5 furlongs in the second race. Juan Hernandez aboard at 240. An easy win for Explora, by the way. That was a big win there. And, of course, Antonio Fresu had a couple of wins. And John Lindo had a nice pick for us. He won the 8th race for us with Manchild. Here's a horse that was 12-1 on the morning line, Jonathan. Got bet down, won like a 2-1 shot, should win. He went wire to wire, paid $6.40 from a 12-1 morning line.
Yeah, but he opened up 2-1, Ralph. So I think it may have been a bad morning line, to tell you the truth.
Well, no kidding, huh?
Yeah, so it's not like he won 12-2, one of the CAW deals, but he opened up short and stayed short the whole time. So
and won
maybe
easily.
It was a bad morning line.
And by the way, up there at Emerald Downs on the big stakes race day there, the Long Acres Mile, which is a race that has a lot of history there in the Northwest, was won by a horse from Southern California, Arrow the Great, with the Manny Americano aboard for Dan Blacker. Paid $5 even as the favorite. Cloven Connection was second, and Bearings was third. They had a single day record handle there at Emerald Downs of $3,305,806. So they had a good day there up at Emerald Downs. Glad to see that they had a big day there on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest day of the year that they have, and it turned out to be a good day for them. I mean, they broke every record with as far as handles concerned and everything else. So if you don't do it on your big days, Ralph, when are you going to do it?
Well, let's hope that they have a big day with nice weather there at Saratoga on Saturday. I know it's a little disappointing that the Travers only got 5 horses in it, of course, headed by Sovereignty. But
and no show wagering this year, Ralph. They joined the ranks of chicken tracks. They're not taking show wagering.
Well, no kidding. There's no show wagering in that race. I mean,
well, it's still a 5-horse field. They haven't done that here. I can't remember the last time they didn't allow show wagering in a 5-horse field.
Well, they're still going to have trifecta, right?
Yeah, wow. Supers too, or just tries?
Well, I don't know about supers. I know there's going to be a try there. But taking a look at this short field from the rail out, number 1 is Magnitude. This is Steve Asmussen trainee. Ben Curtis is going to ride. He's 2-1 on the morning line. Now, Magnitude, of course, had a big win in his last, and he's going to get the acid test in the Travers. The 2 is Bracket Buster. Louise Saez riding for Vicky Oliver. The 3 is Strategic Focus. Flavian Pratt riding for Chad Brown at 6-1. Bracket Buster is 20. Sovereignty will break from post 4. Junior Alvarado, Bill Mott. Morning Line at 2-5. And the 5 is McAfee. John Velasquez riding for Dick Dutrow Jr. at 20-1. If you take out the 20-1 horses, I guess if you box the other 3 in the trifecta, you're probably safe. You'll probably lose money. Yeah, but you're probably safe.
You want to box them. You don't even want to go cold. You want to box them.
No, I got a cold one. I got a cold one going.
I'm sure you do.
And it's not going to be...
Magnitude is getting better. If you're looking to make some sort of a case for any horse, and he could get loose on the lead, but I don't know how he's going to beat Sovereignty, to tell you the truth. But
well, here's
here's
how I see the race. I see the race as Magnitude going for the lead, but I also see McAfee from the outside. That's his only possibility of getting anywhere or even second in the race would have to be to go right out with Magnitude and stalk him. If that's the case, then maybe Magnitude won't finish second.
Okay. So who's going to finish second, McAfee? Well, McAfee's going to be done chasing the 1. How are you figuring out this 5-horse field? I'm curious.
All right, I'm going to figure out that Sovereignty will come and come at the leader somewhere around the far turn, dispose of them, and then McAfee will be the first one to spit it. Magnitude is going to be... Magnitude will fight for a while, but then you have Mr. Flavian Pratt and Chad Brown aboard an improving horse, Strategic Focus, that I think is going to pick up the pieces for second.
Okay, why not? But don't expect that big a price, Ralph. It's Chad Brown and it's Flavian Pratt.
You know, I'm not. And that's why you have to take a cold punch. Either you're right or you're wrong. You can't be messing around with putting 2 horses in the set. No, you cold cock it and that's it. You're right, you're right. Yeah. You're wrong, you're wrong. You turn a $2.
Turn a 1 to 5 into a 4 to 1 or 5 to 1.
That's it,
what
right? You take a 220 winner, and you try to make an $8 or $9 trifecta out of it.
Exactly. Okay.
And that's the way that's the way I see it. How do you see it?
I don't see it. I wouldn't even get involved. What do you need the race for? First of all, 14 races. 14 races. Back to that nonsense. People hate it. Nobody wants to sit around for 14 races when they have to deal with TV times and races running on at the right time. There's going to be a ton of time between races. Becomes just too long a day, Ralph. You don't need 14 races. I think it's silly. Personally.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, come on, John. We got to make sure that all the bands get out there and the the barbershop quintets get a chance to do their thing and all that. It's going to be a big day out there, and if it's a beautiful day, people will be out there. It'll be a lot of fun. But as far as the gamblers are concerned, it could be a little long of a day. All right, let's take a look quickly at the personal ensign. Now, there's only 7 in that field, and Torpedo Anna is the favorite. She's 6-5, but you got randomized in the race, Franco for Brown. You got Dazzling Move, Jose for Safi Joseph Jr. You got Raging Sea, again, Flavian Pratt for Chad Brown. Number 4, Dorth Vader, John Velasquez for George Weaver. Bernie Takes Charge as the 5-horse. Romero Marav for Dominic Chatino. You got Leslie Rose, Irad for Todd Pletcher, and, of course, Torpedo Anna. Brian Hernandez for Kenny McPeak. Torpedo Anna breaks from the outside post in this race. But with only 7 in it, I don't see anything that's going to prevent her from losing too much ground at the 1 1/8 distance.
Yeah, but the inside horses, randomized, Dazzling Move, they all have speed. Even the Bernie Takes Charge is speed inside of her. Out of all the short-priced horses on Saturday, Bookham Dano, Sovereignty, I think Torpedo Anna is the most vulnerable short-price favorite. I think she could get beat. I don't know by who yet, but I'll figure it out. I just don't think she's as good this year as she was last year. And I think she's going to have trouble because, again, there is speed inside of her. And it's not one speed horse. It's like 2 or 3 speed horses. So, but Brian Hernandez obviously knows how to get to the rail. He always does. But it's going to be interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting all day long in these races. That's for sure. Now, you talk about Bookham Dano. He's going in the 4-go. And in that race, you have 11. That's the largest field of the day. Now, Bookham Dano is sitting in post 4 of the 11. He's 8-5 on the morning line. So this looks like the race that you might be able to get some payoff in.
Not only that, Ralph, but Bookham Dano on the sheets ran the biggest figure of his life last time out. He ran a 2, which is a big, big number, and he's vulnerable to bounce. You know, most wanted. Cox not having a Cox-type meet up here at Saratoga this year, but I think he's been pointing this horse for this spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if he woke up. He's 5-1. You're dealing with the rail and Florent Giroux. But I think Bookham Dano may be vulnerable because of the big race he ran last time out. Not only that, I don't think 7 furlongs is really his ideal distance.
You know, in this race, I remember a horse called Scotland. That'll be a junior Alvarado for Bill Mott. At one time, he's an offspring of Good Magic. At one time, people thought quite a bit of him. He's 12-1 on the morning line. You think he can bounce back in this race?
I didn't do the race, in detail yet, but obviously the problem I have with that horse is I think he runs better when he's on Lasix. I know he has a 1-2 starts back without it, but he looks like he may be a Lasix type horse.
All right, and naturally we're just going over first blush on these horses and these stakes races on Saturday at Saratoga. As we get closer, we'll get more in tune to getting over these races. That's for sure. Well, today you say it's kind of an off day at Saratoga.
It really is, Ralph. It reminds me of like a Thursday afternoon on the inner track at Aqueduct in November.
Oh, my.
That's how bad the card is, to be honest with you. They mix in all the late scratches and everything else that goes with it. So our radio play is going to come in the 7th race today. It's a mile on the main track, and I like the number 5 horse in here, Noda, a 5-year-old from the Johntown Nova barn. Irad Ortiz aboard to ride. I like the rider switch. I think this horse may get loose on the lead today. He's listed at 4-1 on the morning line. You have a couple of late scratches in there. Take out the 3 leading contender. Take out the 7, Call Me Fast, leaving a field of 5. But that's what you're dealing with all day long, Ralph. Short field, short prices.
Okay.
If you got something to do today, go do it.
Yes,
you take, Ralph. What can I tell you?
Take care of the honey-do list today, right?
Exactly. Continued from yesterday and Monday.
And you don't have any soapbox either. What about those 2 DQs that came over the weekend, both one at Del Mar and one at Saratoga, that have guys, on X, their postings were like really getting down on the stewards.
The one at Saratoga was bad, Ralph, because the inside horse, the 4, who they eventually put up, he made initial contact with the 2. He came out into the 2 first, then the 2, reacted to him getting hit, I guess, and he lugged in. But he was never beating the 2 anyway. The interesting thing is they were both Pletcher horses. The camera's on them. They're laughing in the winner's circle. If you have a bet on a horse, you don't want to see them having a good old time on your account. But Pletcher had nothing to worry about. They were going to put him up or they were going to leave him up. But, I don't like the look for the fans. That's all.
All right. Well, let's get this bad day of Saratoga out of the way and start marching towards a big day on Saturday. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Just in case, though, that folks want to get your sheet for today, you got one available, right?
JONHARDOON.com. And I'm telling you, wait for tomorrow's card.
Okay.
Save your money.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Telling the truth. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
He always does, folks. That's for sure. All right. I'm going to go to Rich Yang right now. Let's go to Richie Yang standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
I threw Sean a curveball. We were supposed to go to a break, but I wanted to get to you because I want to we got to get in Dwayne after the break as well. Yeah. So your thoughts about Saratoga just about the same today as Jonathan's?
Well, I worked up there 7 years, and I've seen good weather, I've seen bad weather, I've seen in between. And I tell you what, Ralph, it can be pretty miserable because it's still rainy and humid, and I used to have to go to work wearing a suit, and you talk about uncomfortable. Now, I'm glad I'm just like this here in Vegas.
Well, you know what? We're in Vegas, and we're getting close to the real football season. We've got I think we're halfway through preseason right now, Richie. So I know you're sharpening the pen and getting a lot of handicapping done for the pro football. So maybe you'll take Jonathan's advice and spend more time handicapping football today than you will the races, because Saratoga is not one of their stellar cards today. But do you have a pick for us?
Yes, I do. I had to call an audible because of off the turf at Saratoga.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to race 4, which was originally scheduled for the main track at 6 furlongs. And a horse that jumps off the page because Dylan Davis rode 3 of the 6 horses last time out.
Wow.
He opted to stay with the one horse, Acoustic Avenue, with Linda Rice. So he jumped off 2 others, including a horse that he had won 2 consecutive races with. So I know it's a short price, but
well,
it's
it's not going to be a short price because they have scratched Acoustic Avenue.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have a third backup pick, so we'll just let it go.
Yeah, I didn't want people to think that Acoustic Avenue was just scratched a couple of minutes ago. And as I say, you searched out for a secondary horse because the first one was scratched, but your second one was scratched too. And sometimes fate is telling you, let's pass on today, and that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, the gambling gods have told me to just take it easy, Rich.
All right, but you'll have. Will you be doing anything for Saratoga on Saturday for Travers?
At this point, no, but I'll certainly have opinions on a couple of the stakes races for you guys.
All right, you got it, my man. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All right, folks. Now we will go to our first break, and all I can tell you is that all I can say is that we are. Try to search for some winners today at Saratoga. Maybe Mr. Colucci's got one for us. He's coming up next. Don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Dwayne Colucci standing by. Dwayne, on a Wednesday from Rampart. Good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are we today?
I'm doing fine, my man. Slim pickings today at Saratoga, that's for sure, but I'll bet you can't wait, as we can't, for Saturday and the big Travers Day card there.
Yeah, definitely an interesting card and some great stake races. Travers is a little short there, Ralph, but, definitely a nice matchup between Sovereignty and Magnitude. Definitely, Magnitude, some nice races, especially that last one, and took a little break off the Triple Crown trail after that monstrous Risen Star where he upset the field, but returned in good form and could control the pace if somebody doesn't push this horse. Mm-hmm. But we know Sovereignty has tactical speed and is going to be 2 to 5, maybe even less. So definitely a nice Travers field, but we desire a little more. It would have been nice if Journalism would have made the trip, but, Journalism isn't required to do that now. He's done enough, and to stay out west is definitely the right idea, even though Nysos might be there. So if he runs in the Pacific Classic, that is. So great racing across the country. The older horses are ready. The 3-year-olds are ready. Like you spoke about earlier, we saw some knockout 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
I saw some monstrous performances by the Baffert horses in Del Mar, and we saw that Tom Ames horse this last week.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm very excited about what I saw of the early goings with the 2-year-olds out there, because they're just not, winning races with style. They're winning races with panache. I mean, there's some 2-year-olds that ran this year in races with performances that we may not see for a long time either. And if they continue to progress, we're going to have a hell of a 2-year-old fall, and certainly a nice field for next year's Triple Crown races, that's for sure. Of course, we have the Travers on Saratoga, but there's a lot of good stakes races, undercard stakes races as well.
Yeah, Torpedo Ann is coming out. Bookham Dano has been fabulous. That's going to be a great race in the Forego, like you said, a deep field there. So the superstar star power is going to be out at Saratoga over the weekend. Let's just pray, like we all said, that there's no rain, and definitely the weather gods are looking and not frowning upon us, but smiling. And it should be an excellent card at Saratoga. And they need it, definitely, because Handel has been down there. And there's been so many happenings, like you touched upon earlier in the show again, with the different takedowns and the stewards and the long distance race. Saratoga needs a breath of fresh air. And it's been long now, because it's been going on since July 4th. People forget that. There was a week hiatus there. But, Saratoga has been going on now for nearly 2 months. And they definitely need to shine a light at the end of this meet.
Well, Dwayne, I know that you won't be with us on Saturday, and it's kind of putting you behind the 8 ball to try to make a pick this early for the Travers, but yet it looks like a pretty fait accompli in that race.
Yeah, I think the champ is going to do it. I think Sovereignty will get it done, even though that pace favors Magnitude, and if he could control it, it's going to be more difficult. But I think Sovereignty will sit the nice, trip, sit right there, real close, and Junior will definitely know when to pull the trigger. He's going to be very difficult to beat, and then it's going to be interesting what stepping stone he uses to the Breeders' Cup Classic. I doubt he'll just train up to the race, but you know how Bill Mott is. He's very careful with his training techniques. And he.
Okay. We have a frozen thing there. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our next break. I'll get the pick from Dwayne. If he doesn't come back, we'll get the pick from Dwayne for you after the break. But we'll go to our next break and wrap it up, hopefully, with John Lindo and Jerry Jakowitz. Don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. We have reconnected with Dwayne Colucci. So, Dwayne, we'll get your pick real quick and then go to John Lindo.
Yeah, in the sixth race today, I like the 12-horse Hot Currency. Some nice breeding. The horses drawn in because the race is off the turf. I do notice my Beatles selection, Ticket to Ride, who was my original selection, is still in the race, but I'm switching to number 12, Hot Currency. Not sure who Irad's going to choose. I didn't see the riders announced yet, but Irad is listed on both horses. I like number 12, Hot Currency, Irad Ortiz, race 6 at Saratoga on this sloppy track.
Okay, you got it. And the track is sloppy, that's for sure. There are no updated on any jockey changes right now in the race, except that Ticket to Ride. There isn't a jockey to be announced, so I guess Ortiz will be riding your horse, Hot Currency. All right, thanks a lot, Dwayne. And check out that Rampart when you're up there. All right, you got it, my man.
Definitely the place to be.
All right, you got it. Let's go to John Lindo now in Southern California, where the weather is great, but there's no racing today.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. Hey, congratulations. On Sunday, your sheet had the suggested late pick 4, and that came together. It was originally a $12 ticket, and it came back and paid $107.20. And for the sake of getting an $82 winner in front of that in the pick 5, if somebody was lucky enough to do that, the pick 5 paid $19,233.85. A big difference to get that big horse, that $80 horse in there. John, I just couldn't see it, and I know you couldn't either.
No, but if you were smart enough to use the all box in that fifth race and stumble into that, that was a nice score. And I know a couple of guys who did. So congratulations to them, and we'll be looking for them at dinner time.
Well, I got to tell you, for that $12 ticket, $107 for the late pick 4 wasn't too bad, and that was on your sheet as well. Looking ahead to this week, we've got, of course, Del Mar, et cetera. But what is the Lindo Report planning on doing for anything at Saratoga this week?
I'll do the full card on Traverse Day on Saturday. I've got about halfway through that and just kind of waiting to do the grass races there as we see how the weather plays out for the week. But it's a card that has a lot of interest, obviously. I want to see Sovereignty run. To me, it's not a betting race, but with 14 races there are plenty of betting opportunities on the Traverse card.
Yes, I agree that some of the races, like Torpedo Anna and Sovereignty races, they're going to be short trying to get around those two super horses. But nevertheless, there'll be plenty of opportunity to get some meat on the bones for the payoffs in the pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 3s, et cetera, in the other races. It's going to be a heck of a day of racing. I know you don't have a pick today at Saratoga, and even the guys who do Saratoga are having a hard time today because of the weather there. But I will ask you one thing about the controversial DQ over the weekend at Del Mar.
I thought the horse should have been disqualified. You're talking about Hardoon in the fifth race.
Yeah.
Turning top of the lane, he ducked out right in front of a horse ridden by Juan Hernandez, and that horse hadn't been asked yet. And Hardoon wins the race. The Juan Hernandez horse, I think, ran 7th, got beat less than a length for 5th, and there's a difference in payouts and purses between the first 5 and then 6th on down. And I don't think that horse had a chance to gain a better placing. I didn't like the stewards' ruling. They just said, yeah, there was interference, but did not warrant a disqualification. They didn't tell us why it didn't warrant a disqualification. And so when you can't validate it, I don't like it. But, we were talking about it in the press box.
Yeah.
And somebody asked, should the horse come down? And I had no stake in the game. I said, yeah, I think this horse should come down. So
yeah.
I disagreed with the call.
Yeah, because, I mean, if Hernandez doesn't take that quick action, he goes down. He's going to clip heels and go down.
Well, if it let it happen and it happens again and somebody gets hurt, you set the precedent for it. You've got to protect these guys.
Right. Err on the caution of safety. That's what I say.
I'm with you 100%, Ralph.
All right, John. Well, I just wanted to check in with you to make sure. The Lindo Report, of course, returns tomorrow with Del Mar, and you'll have a full sheet for both Del Mar and Saratoga on Saturday. And one quick note, looking ahead to the Pacific Classic, that's a week from Saturday. Any new news as far as horses being coming out for that?
No, got the ear to the ground. We're still waiting to hear about journalism. He'll work this weekend. I think they won't make an announcement until after that work, and have not heard anything about the update on White Barrio. He is on the fence, and hopefully they come out. And Isos is sitting there waiting and saying, come on, boys, let's go. So we'll see what happens.
All right. You got it, my man. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
Jerry Jakowitz, good morning.
Ralph.
Jerry, all I can ask you is this. It's really a pathetic type of day out at Saratoga. The turf races are off. We've got a lot of scratches. The track is sloppy. it's kind of hard to look for horses on a day like today, isn't it?
Well, there's a couple of, there's a couple of M's and that M's for mutters that appeal to me. So,
all right.
If the price is right, it's funny. Sometimes you can really find a good play here and there on a day like today, but you have to be selective. You have to be a little patient.
All right. And so with that in mind, folks, make sure you get Jerry J's Power Page today, because in off-going, he does designate it with M's and P's. The P's are potential. The M's are horses that he likes in the mud. And that's what we got going today in a sloppy track. Where are we going with the pick?
Okay, so our pick is going to be an audible. We're going to go to race number 4.
Okay.
Because my feature play, which was Noda, was for a fast track only.
Okay.
So we'll take number 6, Amundsen. And he just loves Saratoga, and he's really good on all kinds of wet tracks. And he does really perform pretty well for Flavian Pratt. So I kind of like it a little bit. His last race wasn't so good, but we'll look through that.
Okay.
And we'll take the 6 up with the 3 and the 5. Reverse 3 and 5 back over the 6. But the 6 at, maybe 3-1 would be a good play.
All right. Flavian Pratt aboard as well in the 4th race, number 6, Admundson. The 6 in the 4th race, linked up with 3 and 5 and reverse. As you know, the 1 is scratched. That 9-5 favorite is scratched in that race. But there is a 2-1 shot in there that Jerry did not put in the play. So we're looking for a little bit of a price. In the 4th race, the 6 over 4 and 5 and reverse. The 6 is the play. Don't forget, Jerry J's Power Pages got them M's and P's today for Saratoga, so make sure you get it at jerryjspowerpage.com. All right, Jerry. Well, it's going to be an interesting week. I know you're excited about the Travers Stakes and all the big races coming up on Saturday with your sheet, and we'll tap you on the shoulder.
Absolutely.
We're going to tap you on the shoulder to get your thoughts about those big races as well as we move through the week. But in the meantime, you got one more thing to say for today.
Have a great race day, everybody.